Well, hey there, farmer friends. It's Corinna from mydigitalfarmer.com. Hope you guys are doing great today. I am popping in to do a quick, encouraging training because I wanted to teach you about a concept that I call the surprise and delight factor. And this is something that I'm actually leveraging right now at the beginning of my CSA season in some very practical ways. And so I thought maybe I would share with you some simple things that you can do to surprise and delight your customers. I want to start out by telling you a story about why this is so important and how it can really make an impact. So an example of the surprise and delight experience happening to me, I actually am a part of a Facebook group and a course with Amy Porterfield. You guys may not know who she is, but she's kind of a big marketing guru in the online marketing space. And I follow her podcast, and like I said, I'm in one of her courses. And I was inside of the Facebook group one day, and I asked her a question. She periodically does these live Q&A sessions, and she's got like thousands and thousands and thousands of people, all right, who are a part of her course. And I asked a question, and I was like, well, maybe she'll talk about it in her Facebook live Q&A, and I tune in, and it didn't come up in the Q&A. But what she did do, which was even better, I opened up a message. She had sent me a message, I think it was through Messenger, and she had a video link. And when I clicked on that video link, it opened up, and she had a personal video message that she had made for me, where she talked for like 5 or 10 minutes and gave me advice on the answer to my question. And this is like a big time, like media mogul, advertising, marketing mogul. And she took the time to talk specifically to me. That made an impression. And that is a great example of the surprise and delight feature going on. And so I want to challenge us today to be thinking about, as farmers, what are we doing to surprise and delight our CSA customers? Now, there are a lot of different customers that we have. I know we want to surprise and delight everyone, but I'm specifically talking about your CSA members because, in my opinion, these are people who have made a big commitment to you. They're your big supporters and your biggest fans, and I think those are the ones that we should be taking the best care of. So surprise and delight works because when we do something that surprise and delights, it's not normal. It's straying from the usual routine. And that's why it's remembered. That's why people notice it and go, wow, this is unexpected. This is over the top. This is really generous. This is not what you would think someone would do. And that is why it makes an impression on someone. So there are a few things that I have been brainstorming over the winter time, trying to think about, okay, how can I be using the surprise and delight factor with my members? And there are some things that I've always done, but I kind of brainstormed some other ideas. And so I wanted to break them up into a few categories for you for the rest of this training and maybe get you thinking about what this could look like for you, because some of these things I think are pretty easy to implement. So the first one is kind of an obvious one, but to surprise your customers with a new vegetable, something you've never grown before, something that's new and innovative. I know that for us, we've been doing this now for 11 years. And after a while, we have some members who've been with us for like 6 or 7 years. And it can kind of start to feel repetitive. So we try to look at what can we grow this year that's different, so that we're hoping to put some jicama. Am I saying that right? Jicama? I'm not sure. We're growing that for the first time this year, and if it works out well, we're going to put that in people's boxes, and we're super excited about just the surprise and delight factor that's going to cause for people, because they're like, wow, you've never done this for me. Or even just within like the category of beets, for example. There are so many cool, new, weird, funky varieties. So trying out different things that will surprise and delight. Okay, so that's kind of an obvious one, but that's really not where I want to focus on. It's not so much like the vegetable product. I want us to think outside the box and be like, what can I do that's going to surprise and delight in other ways? So I want you to think about this category of access to you. How can people experience special access to you that surprise and delights them? Personal attention, personalized message, kind of like my example with Amy Porterfield when she sent me a message. So there are a couple of things that I'm trying this year that I'm kind of excited about. First of all, I have a ritual that every Tuesday, which is today, I'm going to write 5 thank you notes by hand to different customers. And the way that I'm keeping track of that is I have these giant checklists like this that we take to our pickup sites. And I have one for each site. And they're listed, everyone's names are listed. You can actually see that we highlight the names of people who are new to the CSA. And I do that on purpose. I copy it every year, every week. I transfer it over because I want my staff to always be aware these are new people this year, so we treat them a little bit differently. We don't make assumptions about what they know or don't know, and we might even give them a little bit extra attention just to help kind of grease the wheels. But because I know who my new members are because of this little tool, I'm going to really be focusing on thank you notes. Probably to maybe half of my thank you notes will be to new people because I really want to try and build a connection with them. So that's just a discipline that I've put in place, handwritten notes. And it's not just, hey, thanks for being in my CSA. I'm really going to try and write those well. Like I'm going to try and write 6, 7, 8 sentences where I do some vision casting language, where I talk about maybe a specific conversation we might have had at the pickup site and reference back to it so that I show them I noticed them and that I'm really glad that they're in my community. Okay, so that's one way you can just write notes. That's going to surprise and delight people. It's not an email. This is a note that comes in the mail and they open it up and it makes an impression. You have to trust me. Another thing that I'm trying is I'm doing personal video messages. And so I have a tool that I purchased it's called BombBomb. You can learn more about it at mydigitalfarmer.com/BombBomb. And you have the ability to just click a button within Gmail itself and it just starts recording you. And I just talk, and then if I can replay it, see if I like it. And if I like it, I hit save and it goes right into my Gmail editor. And then I can click send. And the person, when they open it, it's got this like animated GIF of the first 2 seconds of me. So I'm usually like waving my hand so that it looks like I'm, moving. And when they click on the video itself, that GIF, then I just start talking and I'm sharing my message. So I'm really excited to use that, not just for sales leads, but to actually take care of some of my customers. So I'm also going to do the same thing there. I'm going to pick out 5 people each week that I send a personal video message to that way. And that should take me like maybe 20 minutes to complete that. So those are a couple of ways that you can do personalized attention. And again, these people are going to open up an email with a personal video message from me that's going to hopefully be like, oh my gosh, she's talking specifically to me and she's saying thank you. And it's gonna do that surprise and delight thing. Okay, some other things that you can consider doing, value adds. So I know that some farmers already do this, but is there a way that you can just give people a free gift, especially on the front end of the season? So we begin our CSA this week. And I always try to have some kind of a freebie that they get on their first week because I want to make a good first impression. I feel like if there's 2 places in the season where I want to make sure that people are feeling positive about the brand, I want it to be on the first week when they first meet me. There should be a good high energy moment there. And I also feel like it needs to happen kind of near the end, maybe like 4 weeks before the end, when I'm right before I start pushing my CSA early bird renewal, okay? I want them to be having really positive vibes about their experience slightly before I start selling them again for the next season. So those are the 2 kind of places where I'm really highly intensive and intentional about thinking through, okay, when do I need to do surprise and delight and really kind of go above and beyond and do these value adds and make the boxes really strong and the whole experience really strong. Okay, so you could be doing value adds like, hey, I'm going to give you some honey, or I'm going to give you a jam, or in our case, we do something like this. We give Debbie Meyer green bags, and I've talked about these before. These are they absorb the ethylene gas that's given off by vegetables, and there's 20 in a pack. So I just take out 1 or 2, and I give this to people at the pickup site. They just get a bag, okay? But I explain to them what it is. They know what it's going to be in the email that I've sent out. But we also tell them, hey, I'm not just giving you a plastic bag, but this is a special kind of bag. Here's how it's going to help you with your vegetable box. I recommend, if you like it and if it works, try it out with some bananas or strawberries, things that like to perish really fast. If you really like it, then, I show them, you can get these for $5 and this is going to last you an entire season. They're reusable, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is really cheap. And it doesn't cost me a lot, and it goes a long way. People are like, oh, thank you. And I especially make sure that my new members, which is partly why these guys are highlighted, so that my team at the site knows anybody with a highlighted name is getting some of these as a gift, so that they can kind of be onboarded into the CSA tribe and learn some of these storage tips and tricks. Okay. So another thing that you could give away is like your insulated bags, or like if you have like a shopping bag with your brand on it. Just try to find something that's going to help them feel like the gift itself should make an impression, but maybe even if it's something that's branded, that has your name on it, that helps them be like, okay, now I'm part of the group and I can carry this swag around. Okay, and then another thing that I'm doing, this is new this year for us, to try and surprise and delight, is I purchase, so we have a cheese vendor and a coffee vendor and a fruit vendor, and they actually do prep it all for us and they deliver it to us. And so we pay them a cost of goods sold fee every week, so that I don't have to put together the fruit bag anymore. That's something that's outsourced. So I have actually ordered, every week I order 2 extra ones, more than I actually need for my customers. And those 2 extra fruit bags become at my disposal to give to whoever I want. And so I'm using my master checklist. I'm going to kind of keep track of, on this checklist, who did I write a thank you note to, who did I do a video message to through BombBomb, and who am I giving a free fruit bag away to. And I'm just going to surprise them at pickup and say, you're getting a free fruit bag this week. And they're going to be like, what? Why? Oh my gosh, thank you. And so, it's just something that I'm going to pass the love around. It's two people, lucky people per week. I also am going to do the same thing with our cheese products. I have a couple of cheese logs, goat cheese and hard cheese, and I'm just going to pass it around. But I'm going to be intentional about it, and I'm going to be keeping track of who's getting them, so that I can kind of see, slowly try and make sure that a majority of my members are in some way being stroked by me, whether it's getting a product, a value add, or a personal message. So these are some very strategic things that I'm trying to do to try and help my customers feel like they got an extra piece of attention, so that there's a sense of reciprocity that happens because I've done something kind for them. And I think that this checklist tool, having a master checklist tool like this, is really helpful, because it'll show you could even like look back and see maybe, in like 6 months, maybe I'll be able to notice a difference, that some of these people that were new, did a majority of them, come back? Did this help what I was doing, writing thank you notes? Will there be a correlation? It remains to be seen, but that's something that I plan to do this season. So the final thing I wanted to talk about was just creating fun opportunities at your pickup sites. So rather than just having your pickup site be a pickup site where they come and get their box, I'm trying to create like 6 times in the season, having a special moment or event at the pickup site. Event's a strong word, but let me give you an example. Like I'm gonna bring my kids along to the different sites on one week, and they're gonna have a lemonade stand. And just something really silly and, not going to spend a ton of money on, but my super cute kids are going to be there and try and give people lemonade. They're not going to charge them for it. It's just going to be a free, like on a hot day, I've got some lemonade for you. Okay. And so there's going to be people gathering around the lemonade cooler. So my goal here is to try and create this community experience, right? So it's not just come in and get my stuff and leave, but create places around the water cooler where people can hang out and have community. Another idea here is that I'm going to have like a watermelon tasting, or when we have all kinds of awesome watermelons, I'm going to bring samples to the site. We're going to have a table over here where people can come and try stuff. It's going to be a hot day. Again, really cold watermelon, all sliced up for them. Just little things like that, so that every week they might be wondering, I wonder if there's going to be something cool and different at the pickup site. Okay, so I don't know how this is kind of ambitious, but that's another way that you can surprise and delight, just making the pickup site experience a little bit different from time to time. Okay, so there you have it. Those are several suggestions for how to do surprise and delight. Number 1, you can provide some kind of special personal attention. Number 2, you can create some kind of a value add, give them a free gift of some sort. Number 3, you could have some sort of actual like major, like the fruit bag, for example. That's like a whole share type that I give people a sample of, and it may even lead them to decide to purchase it and add it onto their order. And number 4, creating fun pickup site experiences that will surprise and delight. What I want you to remember from all of this, why is this important? Why do we want to stray from the normal and create these memorable experiences? I think it's so important for us to realize that it's not just about getting the new lead into the pipeline and constantly trying to find new customers. That's one way that you can increase your revenue or increase the momentum of your brand. But what I feel like the really great brands do is they take awesome care of their current members, their current buyers, because frankly, you're going to have the greatest bang for your buck from the people who are already buying from you. Those are the ones who are going to continue to buy more and continue to move through your funnel. So let's take really, really good care of those people. And that's what this strategy of surprise and delight is designed to do. It's a very intentional mechanism that you can put into your business. You can set a specific day every week where you write 5 thank you notes, or I'm going to create, a fruit bag 2 times a week that goes out to 2 different people. I'm going to print out a master checklist like this where I keep track of who I'm writing to. These are specific mechanisms that you can create and fire on a weekly basis in your business that are going to take care of this piece of really taking care of your current customers. And when you do that, those members are going to be so well cared for, you're going to grow their loyalty to you. They will continue to ascend through the value ladder, through your business, and become even more loyal and huge brand ambassadors. So I'm all about trying to build new leads and find new people into your funnel. I do a lot of that. But what I'm doing more of this year is taking care of the customers I already have. And my suspicion is that if I do that really well, my customer retention is going to stay high, because that's the way to a person's heart. Surprise and delight, my friends. Look for ways that you can do that this week. If you have a suggestion or a way that you currently surprise and delight, I would love to hear it. Put it down in the comments below. And as a final call to action, if you have not checked out my podcast yet, it's released every Wednesday. You can subscribe to it. It's called the My Digital Farmer Podcast. Please subscribe and listen every Wednesday. You can go to mydigitalfarmer.com/podcast to find the link to find it on Stitcher or iTunes. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Have a great weekend. Carry on. Bye.